I wish to call the Lee County Board of Commissioners to order on this 22nd of March, 2021. Thank you for arriving this evening. This is a special called meeting in regards to items of business regarding an economic development project known as Project STAR. Mr. Randolph, let's get started, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Smith, Commissioners, Dr. Crumpton. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight. I would like to ask you this evening to consider a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds for an economic development project. We're calling it Project STAR. The project represents an investment of $213 million, the creation of at least 315 new jobs in Lee County with an average annual wage of $60,000. If this agreement is approved, the county will share up to $6,469,026 of the cost of the project with revenue from the county's general fund over a 7-year life of the project. That dollar amount corresponds to an offer of 90, 80, 80, 70, 70, 60, and 50% cash grant of taxes paid by the company once they've achieved the stated target jobs and investment numbers in the agreement. And I would ask that you consider entering into this agreement so that we might bring Project STAR to Lee County.
Thank you, sir. Any questions before I start the public hearing? Any questions, commissioners, before I start public hearing? Okay, I now proclaim the public hearing open for the Project STAR Economic Development Project. All those in favor of the project, please come forward to speak on behalf of the project.
If I may, Chairman Smith, I'm very much in favor of this project. As you will probably recall, I've given you the numbers in terms of capital investment and jobs. This company is considering purchasing the second shell building at CCEP. We have a thriving life sciences sector in life sciences and biopharma manufacturing here in Lee County. This company is a part of that sector and would just strengthen the presence of that sector here in Sanford and Lee County. The jobs that will be created are quality jobs that our local residents can qualify for with the programs that we have in place at the community college to train them for that, for these types of jobs. And I just think this is the type of project that we have been working towards at Saga and as a community for many years now. And I could not be more excited about the opportunity to land this project. So I would encourage you to enter into this agreement with the project and land this project for Lee County. Thank you.
Any others in support of this project? Are there any opposed? Seeing there are no other comments for or against the proposal, I will close the public hearing.
And Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we waive our policy and vote on the proposed development of Project STAR.
Motion's been made to consider waiving the voting policy on the Project STAR Economic Development Project. Any questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
And next, I move that we approve the economic development incentive for Project STAR. And once the company has announced, I authorize staff to include the name of the company in the economic development incentive agreements and authorize the chair to sign the agreements.
It's been moved to accept the project. I do need to, I'm asking for any comments and questions from the commissioners. Commissioner Lovick?
Again, great for Lee County. Wow. Thank you guys again. I'm excited about the growth we're having in Lee County, so just a positive comment on, thank you for the motion, and I think we need to move forward with it.
Commissioner Reeves,
I'm ready to vote for it.
Commissioner Cameron Sharp,
As well.
Commissioner LaValle, Commissioner Carver.
Ready to vote?
Okay. I do have a question, and I'm asking the question of our financial director and assistant manager. She brought us this wonderful chart, and I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of stuff here, Lisa.
Yes, sir. The main thing we wanted you to be able to see, because you've seen the top part of the chart, but at the very bottom, we added a section that showed, excuse me, let me remove that, what the impact under your new incentive policy is. So for the years there, you'll see that based on the new policy, 50% of the net tax rate impact would go towards a reduction in the tax rate. And then the other 50% of the net tax revenue would go towards a capital reserve contribution. So you can see over the life of the incentive what we project that number to be. Now, we used a $590,000 rate per penny in that calculation. So this may be adjusted in reality when the numbers actually hit our books. But that's what we were doing there, was adding that bottom section.
So the total rate impact is in the orange bar.
Right, so over the life, you could potentially see almost a 2-cent reduction in our tax rate over the life of the incentive.
Thank you. Any questions of Lisa?
Oh, this is real nice, real neat.
Thank you.
Motion's been made to approve the economic development incentive for Project STAR. And once the county is announced, it is authorized to staff to include the name of the company in the economic development incentive agreements and authorize the chair to sign the agreements. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is discussion regarding county property located off Colon Road. Mr. Chairman, or Mr., I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I did not want that job.
County. Dr. Crumpton.
Thank you, sir. I have a couple of items before you tonight. One is a letter that I'm seeking approval from the board. Basically, it's an attempt to try to get the city to move a little quicker on getting plans to excavate the dirt that's on the site that came from the Brock Forge site. The second item is the resolution authorizing the lease. There's still some discussions with the city involving that and the use of the property for additional reasons for possible expansion of the Brock Forge site already. So I'll be happy to answer any questions, but you know, we're anxious to get that dirt moving that's on the site.
Any questions of the manager? Do we need an approval on the,
Need to approve the resolution authorizing the lease and a motion for that, and then also a motion to approve the letter.
Do they need to be two separate motions?
approve the letter first?
That's
and then
fine,
the
you can
lease?
do two separate motions.
Okay.
And the lease will just give the manager authority to work out the terms with the city.
So just to clarify, that first motion would be,
Approve the resolution as presented.
okay. And I make a motion, we approve.
Yeah, it's on the,
I make a resolution that we approve the authorizing lease of the county-owned property.
motion has been made regarding the lease, that's a second, I'm on the wrong page here. Discussion regarding county property located off Colon Road. Motion's been made to present the lease and allow the manager to work on an arrangement with the city on the lease. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the second motion regarding the letter to the city manager.
So moved.
Motion has been made to send a letter to the city manager regarding storage of excavated dirt and debris on county property. Any discussion?
I just want to make one quick comment or question anyway. If there's any back and forth in the negotiation, will this require the manager to come back to the board?
On the letter, no, sir, because we're going to send the letter as is. And so hopefully that will, generate some discussion, and then we'll end up coming back to the board, with some of that discussion. But at this point, we're just trying to get the city to move forward on their plans and to get the dirt moving off the site.
I agree, and I think I was confused because I thought we were doing the resolution first. You actually did the lease first. But what I'm asking is if the city wants to negotiate the cost of moving it, is there any possibility that could come up?
Yes, sir. And then that would have to come back, because I don't have the authority.
Okay, that's
For that.
what I was trying to get at. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If it helps, I think what Mr. Reeves is talking about is the lease. We have sent a copy of
Yeah.
a draft, and so just to kind of give the manager some parameters.
Right.
But if
Okay.
they're outside of that, we can bring it back to the board.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions on the letter? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And just an added note, the county manager and I have lunch with the city manager and Mayor Mann scheduled this week. Next item on the agenda is my public statement I wish to make. In February, I sent an email to each member of the Board of Education regarding their investigation of board member Army Lieutenant Colonel retired Sherry Lynn Womack, asking them to end their investigation of her exercising her First Amendment right to peacefully assemble. I failed to make it clear that I was speaking for myself and not the Lee County Board of Commissioners, thus violating the Lee County communications policy. Since January, I've written letters to the editor of the Sanford Herald, and I've failed to make it clear that I was speaking for myself and not the Board of Commissioners, thus violating the Lee County communications policy. Last week, after receiving the disturbing information about another Board of Education member, Patrick Kelly, I again sent an email to each member of the Board of Education demanding his resignation. I failed to make it clear that I was speaking for myself and not the Lee County Board of Commissioners, thus violating the Lee County communications policy. These stated instances were an oversight on my part, and in the future I will make sure that I state that I will speak for myself and not the Lee County Board of Commissioners. I will entertain comments. Commissioner Lovick.
I appreciate you making that clear, first of all. It takes a big person to step up and admit when you've done something. I think we've all done things that we didn't realize we made statements before, but I appreciate you making that comment and stepping up to the plate on that. Thank you.
Commissioner Reeves.
The communications policy, does it clearly state that if any elected board member chooses to write a letter to the editor or for the public as an individual, does our policy clearly state that we're required to offer a disclaimer?
I do have the policy here in front of me, and it says here in the first paragraph, second to the last sentence, all commissioners may speak on their own individual position with the media and general public, but must make it clear they are speaking for themselves and not the board. The county manager is recognized as the official spokesperson for Lee County Government Administration. And so it's right there in our first paragraph.
Well, since this is not the first occurrence, that's what's got me so confused. It's happened before. I just want to make this comment or raise this question. I hear you, and I'm fine with what you have to say, but I want to offer a motion for the record. at the appropriate time.
Okay.
All right.
Commissioner Sharp?
I don't have anything other than just try to follow the policy on that. And so,
Commissioner LaValle?
No comment.
Commissioner Carver?
Thank you. I think this has been informative for all of us because I could see myself making that same mistake had I not thought that there was a policy that I should have been more aware of. The other thing I would state is that I do not find what you did characteristic of who you are, in the sense that you're very careful to make sure that we dot all the i's and cross all the t's. And to the degree that we ought to give a little bit of grace to anybody, I hope we're doing that. But thank you for mentioning it.
And we'll entertain your motion, Commissioner Reeves.
Thank you. I would move that the board states for the record that it did not take any official action to authorize an email to be sent to the Lee County Board of Education members on, I think it was March 16th, 2021.
Yes, sir, it was the following day.
Thank you.
Motion has been made to state that the board did not take any official action to authorize an email sent to the Lee County Board of Education members on March 16th of 2021. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Point of order, isn't there a discussion on the motion?
Oh, I'm sorry. Open it for discussions. Commissioner Lovick, thank you, sir.
I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Reeves, any further discussion?
Motion speaks for itself.
Commissioner Sharp,
no comment.
Commissioner LaValle.
No, just to reiterate, just that this motion is stating that at the time, our board did not take any official action. So that's the basis of this motion.
Right.
Commissioner Carver.
I'm just curious whether or not we got any feedback from the Board of Education that somehow they were confused or something? From the Board of Education. Have we done, in other words, does this cause confusion and that's why we have to clarify it with a motion? Anybody know?
I don't know what the Board of Education has done. I don't need to hear from them. I don't think we had anything to do with that. I know I did not. I think it were over the line. They don't owe us any,
Clarified.
they don't owe us an explanation. That's their board.
I'm not sure I really understood what you just said on the end. I couldn't hear you.
I don't think the Board of Education owes us a response or an explanation. They're an independent board elected just like we are, and they can take whatever action they so choose or none at all.
And that's fine. I just
Okay.
wondered whether or not, in fact, there was a record of somebody reacting to this email from the Board of Education, since they were the party that somehow may have been confused or something. That's the only reason. I understand that what we're doing here is trying to decide whether or not to pass a motion just to make the record clear. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That's the only intent.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. We have a closed session on the agenda, but as I understand,
We can go into closed session if the board would like to.
I don't
is there
think
any
it's
motion to
necessary.
go into closed session? We did have a topic that was on discussion, but that's going to be resolved
Yes.
with the,
We already resolved the matter.
we're not.
We don't have to go.
It was on the agenda for the property issue.
Move to adjourn.
Well, we have Board of, okay, we did that. There has been a motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? We are now adjourned. Thank you very much.